A witch hunt is a search for people labeled witches, or evidence of witchcraft, often involving moral panic and mass hysteria. The classical period of witch hunts in early modern Europe and colonial North America falls into the early modern period, or about 1450 to 1750, spanning the upheavals of the Reformation and the 30 Years' War, resulting in an estimated 35,000 to 1 million executions. Europe. The last executions of people convicted as witches in Europe took place in the 18th century. Scotland. The witchcraft trials in Scotland took place during the period 1561 to 1727. Kingdom of Great Britain. Witchcraft ceased to be an act punishable by law with the Witchcraft Act of 1735. Germany. Sorcery remained punishable by law into the late 18th century. Africa, Asia and Australia. Contemporary witch hunts have also been reported from sub-Saharan Africa and Papua New Guinea, Cameroon and Saudi Arabia. Official legislation against witchcraft is still found in Saudi Arabia and Cameroon. From at least the 1930s, the term witch hunt has been used figuratively to describe activities by governments to seek out and expose perceived enemies, often apparently as a means of directing public opinion by fostering a degree of moral panic. The Second Red Scare of the 1950s, culminating in the McCarthyist persecution of suspected communists in the United States, is especially associated with this usage of the term witch hunt. In India, around 2,100 suspected, mostly women, witches were murdered between 2000 and 2012 in India's tribal and Dalit communities. Anthropological causes. The wide distribution of the practice of witch hunts in geographically and culturally separated societies since the 1960s has triggered interest in the anthropological background of this behavior, the belief in magic and divination, and attempts to use magic to influence personal well-being as human cultural universals. Belief in witchcraft has been shown to have similarities in societies throughout the world. It presents a framework to explain the occurrence of otherwise random misfortunes such as sickness or death, and the witch-sorcerer provides an image of evil. Reports on indigenous practices in the Americas, Asia and Africa collected during the early modern age of exploration have been taken to suggest that not just the belief in witchcraft but also the periodic outbreak of witch hunts are a human cultural universal. One study finds that witchcraft beliefs are associated with antisocial attitudes, lower levels of trust, charitable giving and group participation. Another study finds that income shocks lead to a large increase in the murder of witches in Tanzania.